You are tuned in to the JDawg and Leevis show. After years of playing together in bands and tons of late-night conversations, it was decided that it was only fair we repeat it all here. Tonight, podcast number 26 on the JDawg and Leevis show.
26.
Very nice.
Well, it's no German, but, you know, I get by.
26.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah.
26.
26.
Like the day after Christmas.
I got married when I was 26.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Not to you.
you're old. Tonight's show, we're going to talk about wandering death.
Wandering death.
Wandering death.
Like, oops, there's death.
There's death. Just wandering around the room.
Okay.
All of a sudden, bam.
Hmm.
There it is. We're going to talk about the three-bagger.
Now, I know what a double bagger is.
Oh.
What?
Wait till we talk about the three-bagger. When we're
Okay.
done with this show, everybody will know what it is. You ever heard of Charity?
Yeah, she's my favorite stripper.
Oh, that's a good point.
Of all the strippers that I love, of
She's
course.
right out there with Menagerie and Sparkles. Anyways, charities, I'm going to tell you why I don't like them. And then a new segment tonight, karaoke.
Karaoke.
Carry on my waywardly. Karaoke. And I'll just kind of fill you in on it. I pick a song. Lee's got to sing it. You got to stay tuned for that one. And much, much more on the JDawg and Leevis show.
I am an old woman, named after my mother. My old man is another child who's grown old. Dreams were lightning, and thunder was desire. This old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. I believe in this living, it's just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He wasn't much to look at, just a free rambling man. That was a long time, no matter how I tried. Those years just flown by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believe in this living, it's just a hard way to go. Flies in the kitchen, I can hear all their buzzing. I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believing in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
Son of a...
You're a little out of practice.
I am out of practice. I'm trying to make the ice noise that I spilled. I haven't even really started drinking.
Amateur.
Podcast 26.
26.
2 weeks without a podcast.
It's true.
I know you're all very upset. I know you've been losing sleep over it. And, well, we don't apologize because we had fun.
We did. Together.
Yes, we did.
Not alone.
With 2 other men.
Yes. Well, that's how we made it fun.
We included 2 other men in this situation. As we had alluded to in previous shows. Did I do that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Tavern Hill Liars played a 3-bagger.
What's a 3-bagger?
The 3-bagger, Third Time's a Charm World Tour. Tavern Hill Liars, consisting of JDawg, Leevis, Parvin Schmutzenberg, and Rufus McCracken. And we played 3 shows in 3 nights.
I can't believe after all of that you remember everybody's names. It's pretty good. I'm impressed.
There was a lot of things that brought us close together that weekend.
That's true. That's true. 3 shows in 3 days.
3 shows in 3 days, and I have never done that.
Hard to believe I didn't want to be in a basement with you like right before that.
Even back when I was in my 50s, I've never done that. My 40s or the 10s or the... Now, I've played shows back-to-back, never 3. Never 3. Mm-hmm. And this is... Now, when you're touring, and you're famous...
Yeah, well, let's just go with touring.
When you're touring, and... No, I'm going to have to say famous, because I'm going to give this part first.
Okay.
Normally, people set things up for you.
Yes.
You just arrive on the bus, cranked out on heroin, drunk, out of your mind, wearing your tight leather pants, and you go up on stage and do it all again.
Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
And generally, you don't even get there. They kind of wheelchair you out and then just push you out at the last second and just watch the magic.
And then you sing Sweet Child of Mine.
And then you sing Sweet Child of Mine. But in our case, not only did we have to wear the tight pants, get drunk, and be
heroin,
and be cranked out on heroin, we had to set everything up. And we had to load the trailer. And we had to unload the trailer.
Yes.
And we had to make sure that all of Rufus McCracken's equipment was working properly.
Man.
I'll tell you, he's got a cracker box, otherwise known as the mandolin.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That has a Radio Shack connection like I've never seen.
I'm sure the Russian space program would be proud of it. But yeah.
There's a small thin wire of Radio Shack grade going up to it. And then it goes into this big ball of electrical tape.
I was going to say,
and you can't quite see what's under that.
There's more electrical tape there than anything else.
And then out of the other end is a smaller wire that makes its way to the bridge on some kind of mounted microphone. And it's been that way for 12, 13, 11 years, somewhere around there. Give or take 10. And it fights us all the time. It's always fighting us. Although there were times when we played back the recording of the show where it seemed a little hotter than usual.
Yeah, well, it happens.
So I think it was an extra wrap of tape around it.
Could be.
That actually held in that tightness.
Well, and Rufus is the real rock star because he showed up 15 minutes before game time.
Yes, he did.
And was ready to, quote, ready to go,
exactly.
Unquote. He was fine. I
actually wanted to leave before the Hills Tap show. I wanted to go home and sit on my couch and pretend I was in the green room.
Well, yeah.
Which is only 5 blocks away. And I didn't get to do that. My wife actually brought me a change of clothes there.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out into the van and changed the clothes in the parking lot.
Yep.
And came in and, well, except for the tight pants, I saved those for the apple orchard.
Oh, yeah, that was thoughtful.
'Cause
for the family show.
Yes, because every time I wear those, they usually get pretty messed up in the
What do you mean?
in the crotch area. You know, they're tight
Why?
and soggy and
Soggy.
well, it's a bad situation. I didn't want to bring it up.
Soggy is the word you're going to use there.
Soggy leather pants. So, yeah, I didn't get to go home. I stayed there, and then I didn't come home till about 2ish, maybe.
I don't know.
And that night was
you
over.
kept me out way too late. That's
Yeah.
all I remember.
And then we came home, and we had to get up and pretend that we enjoyed the morning, but no, we couldn't enjoy the morning.
Yeah.
Because you had a little bit of time to do a couple things, and we had to head out to the wedding.
Yes. Yep.
Sam's wedding.
Which was the
Out of studio Sam.
the far gig.
And that was in DeKalb.
Yes. Proper? Was it in DeKalb proper?
I think it's on the outskirts.
Yeah.
I think it's on the outskirts. It was kind of out there in the cornfields, about a 3-acre property on the river, and we set up on the deck, facing over the backyard and the river.
Yep.
Very beautiful area.
And we had a great day for it.
It was a great day for
You
it.
were all whiny about the sun. And
I'm always whiny about the sun. You don't have a bald head.
No, you know what? Who got sunburnt? This guy.
I got some on the neck.
So you didn't. Well, yeah, but it wasn't sunburn.
Oh, some kind of burn.
So
Got something on the neck. And yeah, the sun actually was beating right down, but it was actually, there was a breeze. It was about 77-ish.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad at all. But I did whine a lot.
Yes.
And I complained that I did not bring the canopy to put over
Yep.
me.
I know. I was there.
I did some complaining. But the deck turned out to be a good spot because we were up higher than everyone, because the ground went down on a steep slope, and the people were actually, if you were to draw a straight line, probably about 20 feet below us. Which kind of made me feel like a rock star.
Yes.
In a way.
And the leather pants. And
No, the leather pants were not there. Those were
that's
only
right.
the family show.
This was the one where you had your foot on the
I did have my foot on
on the
monitor.
speaker.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because-
like a real rock star.
When we played this weekend, we used the actual Rockstar monitors.
Yes.
So, very rockish, very starish. And the bride, actually, in the second set, requested that I play Gin and Juice. And
Did you?
the last 17 or 18 times I've sung Gin and Juice, I've sung it with all of the proper words in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know if I could clean it up. And I did.
You did.
I sang it. And it was a lot of editing. There was, didn't drop one F-bomb, didn't drop any of the what was it, popping the cherries and the rubbers and the everything else that goes along with Gin
There
and
were
Juice.
some drug references. I think
There were.
you were free on the drug reference and the
Well,
alcohol references.
Kids know about drugs.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean,
true.
drugs are in the schools.
They can probably teach you a little
They
something.
probably know more than I do. So we got through Gin and Juice, and the second set was fun. There was a lot of people there. They were watching. The first set, we were kind of background music, which is sometimes happens at a wedding.
And sometimes kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Because then when you are as bad as we are, then nobody notices. So then after that, they went off on their merry way. They did their speeches. We packed up, and we came home. Well, that night, got home about 11:30-ish maybe.
Okay. I don't even remember.
Went to bed, got up,
just a
and I
blur.
had 15 minutes from the time I got up to pick up Rufus to head out to the apple
But at least you
orchard.
got a good night's sleep.
And that was on Sunday. I did sleep pretty good. So I picked up Rufus. We headed out to the apple orchard. We got there, 10:30ish. Had to be ready by noon. We were set up at 11:15. I think it was 11:15 when everybody kind of wandered off to take a break and think about what they wanted to think
the
about.
stage was covered when we got there.
Right.
So, I mean, it went from 0 to game time
So if
in
anything-
like 45 minutes.
If anything, in that 45 minutes, we learned how to set up our equipment really well.
That's true.
By doing it 2 days in a row
Yes.
beforehand. So that worked out well. And Parvin even hooked up the mixing board,
Oh.
which I usually hook up because
Yeah.
I never showed anyone. He just figured it out because he's watching, and there you go. Now somebody else can do it.
Yep. Good.
Perfect. So we set that up, and that was 4 hours of music.
Yes.
Well, not 4 hours of different music.
Well, yeah, but a 4-hour set is pretty rough.
4 hour set is rough. What happens is after you get to about the 3 hour mark, you just start playing them over again. Because everybody's gone that was there in the first hour. So play it again, Sam. But it worked out well, and actually this was maybe our 6th year, I think. I want to say playing at the Apple Orchard
I
for the Tavern Hill Liars.
Facebook reminded me that it's been at least 4.
Had to be at least 4 for you.
Yeah. What, you were playing before me?
Did we play before you?
I don't think you did.
Was it 4 or 5? It had to be more than 4.
Might have been 5.
It was cold. It was hot.
Right? Bees.
And then it was nice. And then there was with the girl in the band. And then there was one without me.
Right.
There's 5.
Yeah.
So that was the 5th one.
Okay.
Wait, no. Cold, hot, nice, girl, Marty, 6. And this one. So there you go. Because last year, the Tavern Hill Liars did not play because Rufus couldn't make it in.
Right. Right.
So it was the Leevis and In Studio Marty show.
Yes.
Which went over well.
Yeah. And
I enjoyed it because I actually got to sit in the crowd and watch the show instead of being on the stage for 4 hours.
Right.
So that was pleasant.
His daughter was there. That was nice.
Yep.
She's a good singer.
Absolutely.
She sang as pretty.
So this year, Marty decided he was going to come out again. And we got a call at 11:15, 45 minutes before the show started, right when we got set up, and not feeling well.
Yeah.
Marty could not make it, was feeling under the weather, and could not make it. And when Marty says he's feeling under the weather, he's probably really feeling under the weather.
I never questioned it.
Right.
So, and that's a first.
Because, he's turning down money.
Normally, he's a, put me in coach kind of
we're
guy,
we're talking big cash to play the Orchard.
I didn't push him. Yeah.
So.
Hey, yeah, and so that's the John and Mac Orchard down in Malta, Illinois, which is just outside of DeKalb, and fantastic venue. Not just because they have fantastic music, but they really have a lot going on down there, and they even have more this year because the wine cellar cider.
Oh, the cider
thing?
house.
Cider house.
Yes.
That's what they called it. Opened up.
They make cider now.
So
hard cider.
Yes.
And we enjoyed 2 bottles of that after the show.
Oh, I guess you can tell people.
Oh, we enjoyed 2 bottles of that after the show. And it was I liked bad.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had hard cider before.
My favorite part is that it's called the John Smack.
John Smack.
Yeah.
So we divvied that up between 4 glasses, and that was nice.
Yep.
I think they have wine, too.
I think so also.
The only time I went in the building, actually, was to go to the bathroom. Because it was just packed.
I didn't even make
bother
it in
looking
there.
Around.
Yeah.
And I think they have wine, too, as a matter of fact. So they're digging into the alcohol.
I didn't get a chance to really explore it. I ran home because we had scheduled a what do you call it? You drive a car, somebody else's car.
Drive somebody else's car
when you're going to go look and possibly test drive.
Oh,
I don't know why that escaped me, but.
Test driving a car.
We were going to go test drive a car, and I got home, and my son was like, no, never mind. And actually, it was an appropriate no, never mind, because I didn't realize that the car that he wanted to test drive was rear-wheel drive.
Oh.
So he's right. That's a no-go for an 18-year-old boy.
Was this for your son?
So, yeah.
To test drive? Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't want him getting out there in a rear-wheel drive car just yet?
No. And it was... I didn't know that... Pontiac Sun Firebird something.
G6?
No. He was not going to fly like a G6. But anyway, it didn't even cross my mind that this vehicle would have been rear-wheel drive because I thought only, Camaros and anything made in the 60s was
and
rear-wheel.
a Mustang.
Yeah.
That's all that comes to mind. Corvette, Camaro, and Mustang.
Yeah.
What else is rear wheel?
And this is a little, 4-banger kind of
4-banger rear wheel.
Yeah, And so, fortunately, my son has friends who knew it was rear wheel and
it was a Ford Festiva with a 3.63 ratio rear wheel drive.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
I don't either. But I know that when you talk about gears in the back end, you say 3 point something.
I see.
So, sounded good.
I'll have
Car
to,
talk here on JDawg and Leevis. Well, yeah, I didn't know he was looking for a new car. Right now, he's driving a beater, right?
Well, it's
as the first one.
All right, as the father, yes. It's a beater, and he hates it, but it gets him everywhere he needs to go.
I started with a 1980 Chevy Citation
And
with rust and a hatchback that only opened halfway. And I remember when I first got onto Route 20 in Elgin, Illinois, and was able to open it up while my friend out of studio Chuck was sitting in the passenger seat, he said the words, "This baby has balls."
Well, it's a Citation. Yes.
And yeah, when you punch it for the first time and you're on a road that you can go faster, yeah, it felt like it had balls.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have any balls. It never had. They didn't get cut off. It never had them. It was a Chevy Citation, for crimini's sake. So we all start out with that, though.
Yes.
I mean, you got to prove your worth. You got to prove that you're going to take care of the car. You're going to prove that you can handle the car.
And the problem is, though, is that his budget is right about for that same car right now. So it's all about.
Well, I still have it.
Maybe he'll.
It's an antique.
Enjoy the balls on it then. So because his '97 Saturn is.
There's not a lot of balls there either.
But here's the thing, though, is that so I drive a bit more, and I still see a lot of Saturns.
Oh, there's a lot of them on the
I mean,
road.
they just are not dying.
And they don't rust because they're plastic.
Exactly.
So they still look good.
It looks fine, and it runs reasonably. And, the only thing wrong with it is he hates it. And it's like, guess what? That's not a good enough reason to get a new vehicle.
No, it's not.
For an 18-year-old. I suppose if you're, JDawg and you're bringing in big bank, because you're...
Well...
Because all those wedding gigs that you play, then maybe you can just buy a car every time you hate one. But
no, hating a car is not a reason to get another one. You get another one when your car dies.
That's my personal philosophy.
The minivan I'm driving now. Let's look at the list of things that's wrong with it right now.
Okay,
we're at 174,000 miles.
Okay,
and actually it's some change. So I'm like 400 away from 175. I'm going to pull over and have a little party. I might even have a little sip of Angel's
Envy.
Angel's Envy. When I hit 175, I'll bring a little sniff in a shot glass.
I just jumped over 170 myself, so maybe I'll catch up to you here.
And at 175, we are talking about the left turn signal doesn't cancel. Nothing you're going to throw it away for. When you turn the blower on for the air conditioner or the heater, level 1, 2, and 3 are fine. 4 doesn't work. You turn on 4, it's like turning it off.
Oh.
So you go back to 3.
Yeah.
What else do we got there? The the driver's rear door does not unlock with the automatic locks.
I got one of those.
So you have to make sure that you lock it before you leave, even though you're hitting the locks. The tailgate only opens if you squeeze the left part of the handle. If you squeeze the right part, it will not open.
That's a security measure.
That's a security measure.
That was a feature. You just figured it out.
Silly me.
Okay.
Well, you must be able to change it because it used to open when you squeezed it on the right.
Right.
Now it's only the left, or the left or the right. What else we got there?
Keep them guessing.
The plates underneath of the seats in the back that go in the stow and go, those have broken off from several people trying to put it in the stow and go the wrong way.
Smashing
and
them down. Yeah.
The driver's power seat control panel had fallen off, and I got it held up with one screw now.
Okay.
So it still works. But it
one
comes
screw is
apart
all
a
you
lot.
need.
What else we got there? And the engine doesn't run. Other than that, it's fine.
You don't need that.
Other than that, it's fine.
Engines are optional. I mean, they're like a feature.
But it goes on and on.
You want power locks or you want an engine?
And there's a bad wheel bearing in the back. Makes a hum, which my wife noticed the other day. What's that noise? It's a bad wheel bearing. Is that bad? I don't know. I ain't fixing it. And what else was there? I don't remember. But anyways, all these things are compiling together, and it's still not a reason to get rid of it.
Right.
Because I was kidding about the engine. It runs like a top.
Right.
The air conditioning works. The heater works.
Yep.
I'm not getting rid of it till one of those 3 things die.
Yes.
And
or
even
transmission,
the air conditioning. Well, I did have a transmission put in at 90,000 miles.
Oh, okay.
So that means I've got till 180 before that dies.
I see.
So actually, it's probably a better transmission than what came with it. But until something major dies, I'm not getting rid of it.
Right.
And do I like it? No. I hate that car.
I know.
But that's not a reason to get rid of it. You're exactly right.
As a fellow, and that's part of the, the punishment of the whole situation. For me, is it like, here's here's my son, I need a new car, Dad. I need a new need. And it's like, do you see what I'm driving? How much money do I make? And that's what I'm driving. Right. I am also driving a minivan of early 2000 vintage. So,
well, mine's an 05. So what are you driving there? Yours is a little bit newer, I think.
Yeah, I want to say it's like what is it? No, I don't think mine is newer because you've got Stow and Go and I don't.
Oh, well.
I think I'm back at like 2001 or 2.
And do you remember when I first got that van, what we put in the Stow and Go? Who used to live in there?
A toad.
Yes, it was a toad.
Who ate Skittles.
It was a tiny midget named Toad.
Stop.
That used to live in the Stow and Go. And the only way he would be able to eat is if we put Skittles into the gas tank and they would leak down into the Stow and Go. And you could hear him munching on them while you're driving. And if you don't believe me, there's several people I can have that will attest to this, that have seen him in there.
And you'll never find an uneaten Skittle in your car.
You won't. Mm-hmm. You won't. Maybe a half-eaten one.
If he's not hungry.
One with a little bite out of it, but never one that's not been touched.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Toad used to live in the Stow and Go, which, by the way, Stow and Go is fantastic.
I wouldn't know.
I've got to admit.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you want to put the dead bodies in the back, you don't have to take the seats out. You just fold them down.
Well, that's considerate.
Exactly. Then you stack them up. And, I mean, when you fold those seats down, it's a lot of room in there. I mean, you get a couple of dumpsters worth. So one trip and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And it hauls plywood, too. A full sheet of plywood. So it's a very versatile minivan, but it's getting to the point where I just don't want to drive it anymore.
Yeah.
But it still goes, so I'm not getting a new vehicle.
I hear you.
It takes off down the road and keeps me cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the other good part about driving a vehicle like that is when you are at the shopping mall and you come out and you see somebody open their door and hit your car, you just kind of laugh and say, have a good one.
Don't worry about it.
And they have a look on their face like they're terrified. I was actually sitting in the van once, and that feeling when you open your door and you instantly see if anybody's in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the car, and the guy just kind of looks at me, and I rolled the window down and just went, ah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, go ahead and be worried about your car. I'm fine. I'm doing good.
I was just recently. I was at the gym, and one of the other gym rats left, and then came back in and was like, "Do you have the blue minivan?" I'm like, "Yeah." Why? She goes, "Well, my daughter opened up the door and hit it," and I was like, "So?" And she goes, "Well, my daughter, I just want you to take a look at it, and I want you to know that, I did it, and my daughter feels terrible about it." And of course, I walk out there, and there's this girl cowering in the back of the car, it's like, 9 or something, just terrified that, big old, gym trainer me, is going to come out there and, make her do burpees or something. I don't know.
You should have set it up with the mom. Like you were really mad.
So she's like, "It's right here." And I'm like, "Where?" I couldn't even see it. It was funny. So
yeah, I don't care what happens to it. I got rust on the bottom now. If somebody were to hit me from behind in the bumper, okay, it's not worth my time. It's
right.
Not worth
as long as you don't get hurt.
Those things are nice. Or if you're driving down the road and you spill your whiskey, you don't worry about it. Because even if it's the cherry stuff and it stains, you don't care.
Don't you use a sippy cup?
No. No, I actually I can't put it down. I hold it the whole time. So
that's what straws are for.
Oh,
or those running cups. Yes.
Yes, I spill whiskey all the time in the van. Mm-hmm. So that in that aspect, it's good to have the old car. We have a bigger truck, a Yukon as well, and it's not very new, but it still looks kind of new.
It does.
So
I have no idea how old it is.
It's about 10 years old.
Okay.
But it still looks really good, and it's in good shape, and it's garage kept, where the poor minivan sits outside crying, wanting to get in. And sometimes in the winter, we let him in. But it's not for his sake. As they say at the old school district I used to work at, that air conditioning is not for human comfort. Well, air conditioning is not for minivan comfort either.
I see.
Nor is heating.
Right.
So it's only because I don't want the driveway to be messed up so I can snow blow it easier. That's the only reason you get to come in the garage tonight.
Got it.
Yes, actually told that from somebody once, that air conditioning is not for human comfort.
I see.
So go ahead and sweat all summer long, and we're not turning it on.
I see.
It costs money.
Yeah.
So I thought it was for human comfort. I thought that was the whole point behind it.
Well,
But it's not.
what is it for then? Who's it for?
It's to keep parents from getting upset. So when the kids are there, you keep them cool.
I see.
Otherwise, you got to deal with the parents.
Gotcha.
My mom wasn't about to come down and yell at anybody because I had to sweat while I was working.
Right.
So,
Yeah, probably not.
not for human comfort.
So
Well, that, and she was also dead at the time. So, that would have been even worse if she came down and started yelling.
Details.
I'd have probably been a little bit more concerned. So, we've gone...
All right.
We've gone, what, a good 3 weeks. That's 21 days without a show.
Well,
Something
not a
like
radio
that.
show.
Yeah,
We did a
radio
bunch
show.
of other shows.
Yes, we did a bunch of other shows.
So,
Now,
in fact, we were on stage for 8 hours in 3 days, within 72
8 hours of music, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That was a lot of music.
Now, if you take out the 4.5 hours of breaks that we took, not all that bad.
Right.
But still, 8 hours of dedication and passion for music went into that weekend. So I'm sitting at work today, and I'm thinking, gosh, we haven't talked in a while, and what are some of the things I want to talk about? And as I'm thinking this in my head, I'm scrolling through the Book of the Faces,
Uh-huh.
and an article came up.
Heard of that.
And I didn't even read the article. I just saw the title, and ding,
And we have something to talk about.
show-worthy.
Mhm.
And I was trying to hide it from Leevis, but I think he saw it. I think he saw it on the screen over here.
That
So
was like 6 beers
it
ago.
glimpsed by. Let me bring it back up here. It's an article about a spider that lives in Brazil.
Is it the Brian spider?
It is not the Brian spider. I was going to say,
Well,
we talk a lot about
That's my
spiders
favorite
here.
spider.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's the one that walks on the water and
Yes.
like, charges across the water and attacks you. Yeah, that's just not cool. So this is not the Brian spider. This is the, let me see, the Brazilian wandering spider,
Okay.
otherwise known as the die-hard spider.
The Die Hard spider.
Correct.
Like the movie?
Kind of.
Okay.
But you might understand after I tell you what the spider does to you.
Okay.
In this article, it says that it's not telling me exactly where. I'm guessing somewhere in Brazil.
I would say this is one more reason not to go to South America.
Right.
Is what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
I haven't even heard it yet.
Now, they originate in Brazil, but they have been known to come to North America
On bananas?
on banana boats because they like bananas.
I
And they
was
live in
joking.
the bananas. No. And there's the banana right there. Right there in the picture.
Actual size?
So let me...
Wait a minute. The banana's like...
no, that's a Photoshop banana. I'm pretty sure. Because if it's not, that's a big spider.
Yeah. Yeah, that spider's like 3/4 the size of the banana, and that doesn't include like the leg span or anything.
So here it says, a family has fled their home in terror after finding dozens of deadly spiders crawling out of bananas they bought in ASDA. I don't know what ASDA stands for.
I don't know.
Anyways, bananas that they bought. The Brazilian wandering spider, dubbed the die-hard spider, but also known as the banana spider or the armed spider, can cause long and painful erections in males, followed by death within a matter of hours.
Jeez.
So, here's your bite, and here's your boner, and there you go, you're done.
What?
So, something with the blood rushing, and...
Nature is just amazing. Can I just say that? How did that evolve? That, not only am I going to bite you, but yeah, that's just crazy talk.
In addition to 4-hour erections and death,
Before dying.
a potent neurotoxin in the spider's venom can also cause abdominal cramps, hypothermia, blurred vision, and convulsions.
Oh,
So it's not just the boner.
you're right.
I mean, there's more. There's a lot more fun to be had.
I don't think you'd be focusing on the boner at that point. I'm
Honey,
just saying, if I'm shivering from hypothermia, I'm
honey,
probably
come in
not-
here. You got 4 hours, and it's all over.
Enjoy the ride.
Oh, so in a way, he's probably not as cool as the Brian spider because all he does is just bite you. He doesn't have anything else. Lives in bananas and bites you.
Doesn't walk on water.
But man, that's you're right about the nature thing.
Die hard. Yeah.
Die hard spider.
What do you think it does to other animals that it bites? Does that happen to Brazilian bears too?
or capybaras?
Yeah, or whatever else lives in Brazil.
Brazilian capybara running around with a 3-foot boner. Gonna die soon. So
Those poor Victoria's Secret models that are all Brazilian.
they lay eggs on the bananas before they're shipped over. Most bananas are
course they
cooled
do.
before they go on sale and help them to ripen, which gets rid of the spiders. However, some supermarkets get them cheaper when they're already ripe, and these are not chilled. So make sure you have your bananas chilled.
Okay.
I think
Chill my
there's not a whole
bananas.
lot more to the article because the man that found it actually did not get bitten. Thankfully, he had his hand in the bananas and saw the cocoon and then pulled away very quickly. He pulled out.
I see.
See.
Yeah.
If you want to kill it, what does it say here? If they want to kill it, then boiling water or the freezer will do it. So yeah, kind of the same thing. If you want to kill the boner, just put it in boiling water.
So wait, do you put the spider in boiling water or the
bananas,
banana?
the bananas, and then it will kill them.
Who boils bananas?
Who
figured that out?
I guess that's kind of the point. Like, if you boil a banana, you're not going to eat it anyway. So why don't
Yeah.
you just throw the banana in the garbage?
See, well,
Or maybe they want you to kill it so it doesn't cruise around and lay eggs.
I had when you said it was the die-hard spider, I had my first thought, well, until I found out, what was hard, was that it had some extra strong exoskeleton that, and so you couldn't mash it with a shoe,
Right.
That kind of die-hard,
like a flea.
yes,
Like
yeah,
you can pinch a flea all day long and it just runs away. Another crazy little bug.
die,
That would
die,
make sense.
and he's just laughing at you eating bananas.
Well, now the other spider got called the Brian spider. Maybe this should be like the Bruce spider for Bruce Willis, the die-hard spider. Oh, you don't want to piss him off.
It doesn't sound like it.
That's awful.
Yeah, just
So-
let him eat the banana.
So instantly, when I saw a spider that gives you a 4-hour boner and kills you, I thought of our show.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad something makes you think of me.
Exactly.
Nature at its finest.
I was thinking.
This is boner music.
I was just thinking, if we're going to talk about boners, we should have boner music. You're right there with me.
See, on this one I'm okay.
I'm thinking of a glass of Chardonnay and
I wish I had some ice left. I would
Leevis
I would clink it.
maybe a fencing match, sword fight, heading to the Badlands.
A couple of Brazilians with boners.
And there's got to be an Urban Dictionary term for Brazilian boner.
Probably.
That just flows right off the tongue.
maybe we
Wait a
need
minute. Oh, look, a spider.
Not dead yet.
Oh,
Yeah, you lift up your hand and he's just flipping you off like, you think that's going to do it?
I kind of like this line.
Bring it!
This is a nice place to hang out and drink. Tonight we've changed our drinks.
It's the upholstery.
It is the upholstery.
Yeah, that's what makes it,
In that yellow
loungy.
chair, the spider's mistaken it for one big banana. In the 1972 quarter-right chair.
That would explain my boner.
I thought you were just happy to see me.
So how many times do you think we can say boner during this episode? I bet we can do it some more.
We'll see, and then we'll go back and actually count.
There we go.
Or, if somebody can say how many times we said boner on the show.
Terry, are you listening?
She's already got a shirt, though.
Yeah.
Because I got more shirts.
Do you?
I could send out another shirt.
Okay.
And I think I have one of each size right now.
Oh, okay.
Small and medium.
Those are... Oh.
No, I think I do. I think I have extra large, a large, a medium, and a small. So maybe we'll do that. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I just don't want to do it. So maybe you'll count, maybe you won't. Don't be a boner. Boner, 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 boner. There you go.
You're just making it a challenge.
4 hours. Normally...
Oh, I thought you were talking about our set.
No, the boner.
Oh.
Well, the entire time we played, I had a boner.
That's why we make you
What
put
we
a
do
guitar
before what we
on.
do before each orchard show is we pull out a banana and drop a Brazilian diehard spider on everybody's hand, and then together like a shot, we let it bite us, and then we go up on stage for 4 hours and we rock. Ugh. That's the thing, though. We become immune to the diehard spider. So we reap the benefits
Yeah, only works once.
of just the 4-hour boner and not the death.
The side effects may include death.
And what is the sign in Atomic, or the lyrics in Atomic Power? You will never taste the death.
You'll never... Okay.
Yes, you will never taste the death. Just the boner. I think we're on like 75 now.
That's quality entertainment.
So,
All right.
besides hanging out with me, did you do anything at all that was fun
No.
or interesting? Because I didn't.
Let's see. No, I pretty much abandoned my family completely and went from there.
Yeah, but you do that on a regular basis.
Well, I'm a rock star. That's
Yeah.
what
I
happens.
was just going to say, when you're a rock star, you have to leave the family behind. I mean, you got to have your priorities straight.
Right.
Well, I was saying before, I think you're going to notice a difference in the show because there's no whiskey tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think there's a different pace to it. I think there's a different feeling to it.
Some
Tonight-
of us have to work tomorrow.
Yes, some of us. Well, I go to work.
Well, yeah. See,
So it's kind of the same thing.
this new gig that I got going on, I actually have to think on Fridays.
Ooh. On Friday?
Yeah, Fridays especially. Yeah,
It's not good for the show.
It makes for it's one of the side effects.
You're
yeah.
thinking about it now, aren't you?
Sort of.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to.
Well,
But-
you'll probably get through it. It's an 8-hour day, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Right now.
Depend. We're
2
doing
Brazilian
these-
spiders and you'll make it.
I see. Yeah, I better pack my bananas.
Oh, hey. Yeah. So 8 hours a day times, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 9,
You were not doing boner
that's,
math.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for you. 8 hours a day.
Yeah,
8 hours.
it is. It's a little
But you're driving now.
crazy. Well, that is not
So really,
included in the work.
So it's not an 8-hour day because the driving is part of the work.
No, then it becomes an 11-hour day.
Right. I mean, it is. The time you leave the house till you come home, it's 11 hours.
That doesn't make me feel any better. You were
Well-
trying to tell me how I didn't work 8 hours.
Right, but you're a hard-working man.
I see. Yes, I do have a. It's a quick thing at the Hills Tap gig. Some friends from high school were there. And,
yes.
And during one of our conversations, one of them looked at me and said, "When do you sleep?" And I drew a complete blank because
There was no answer.
I had a rough week last week, which is part of the reason why we didn't do the show, and a full weekend, and then and it was just the weirdest question. It's like, well, I should be able to answer this, but why can't I answer this? Why don't I know when I sleep? And it's probably because I hadn't been sleeping very well. So that tends to happen too.
Well, sometimes you look like you don't get enough sleep.
Well, lately I've been on the caffeine train.
Or no, I
I'm
shouldn't
not
even
gonna
say.
lie.
I shouldn't even say look like it, because Lee's always a pretty happy-looking guy.
I see. I don't have resting bitch face.
I can.
Because sometimes I do. I think I do.
Don't get me started on that one. Oh,
What?
I'll talk about the resting bitch face in a moment.
That'll be a whole separate episode.
But Leevis has this thing that when he's tired, he's not cranky. He doesn't look tired. He doesn't look mean, but you can hear it in his voice.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear it now?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
And he's very, very somber. Doesn't laugh as hard at my jokes, which most of the time he does just to make me feel better. But I could tell when you came tonight, you're not doing too well.
Kinda
on the
dogging.
department.
That's all right.
And when he turned down the whiskey, I knew that we were in trouble. And he turned to cranberry juice and rum.
And it sounded delicious, and it was delicious.
It was
actually.
delicious.
It's a good combo. It's a summer combo. But you, my friend, are ready for fall.
I am for fall.
So
This comes from Out of Studio Jeb in Davison, Michigan.
I was going to say, isn't that from Michigan?
It is from Michigan.
From the summer.
And I got these over. Let me see. No, it was last year.
Is that back when you were a Bears fan?
At Christmas last year. I've had these for quite some time.
Because the can is like navy blue and orange.
I was still a Bears fan. I'm not a Bears fan anymore.
Yeah.
So, just so everybody knows that knows that JDawg has been a Bears fan forever. Every Sunday now, I'm wearing a Detroit Lions shirt.
Ouch.
Because if Kaepernick can do it, I can protest too.
Ouch.
So, Detroit Lions shirt until things turn around. Until Virginia McCaskey decides to take her 94-year-old ass and move it and get something done and spend some money. Oh, maybe she's so old she can't move it now. And that's the problem. She's stuck. So, yeah, I did. I may have talked about this on an earlier show. I did not pay attention to any Bears at all this year.
Right.
I did not listen to Sports Talk Radio.
Welcome to my world.
Exactly.
How does it feel to be me?
Well, the body's fine. And all of the women are fine.
Well, yeah, you know.
But the whole Bears thing, it's a new situation where I don't care about what happens in the game. And I'm so mad about it because it takes away something I've enjoyed my entire life. Getting ready for the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing to get ready for. It's just terrible football. There's better. The Genoa High School team is more entertaining than the Bears.
You know what? Then maybe you should go, support your local high school.
I am going to the homecoming game this weekend.
So there you go.
So, and I will see some football, and I will cheer and enjoy it. And they're not the best team. They're not going to win state. But it's competitive football.
Right.
Because if you got two mediocre teams playing, it's competitive football. Right. If you have two good teams playing, if you have two bad teams playing, it becomes competitive. And in the NFL, you should have parity amongst the league where nobody should be really bad and really... There should be... It used to be win on any given Sunday. It's not anymore.
Right.
I mean, you can make money because you can easily guess games now of who's going to win and who's not.
Really?
Well, whoever's playing the Bears, you just bet on them. It's very simple. It doesn't matter what the spread is. Just take them. So, yeah, they took that away from me. They took away my Sunday of preparing, having friends over, getting food together, and just enjoying football. And I can't do it anymore. I'm not doing fantasy football anymore. I could care less. I'm wearing a Detroit Lions shirt, for Christ's sake.
You know what? I think I think the Bears are holding back to give the Cubs their moment in the sun.
And that's the only good thing they have going for them. Is the distraction of the Cubs, and the Blackhawks are about to start in 2 weeks.
There you go.
So, hey, don't mind us. Look, the Cubs are doing really well. Watch them. They're going to be in the playoffs. Go Chicago.
I think the Chicago Sky made it into their playoffs, too. So
there you go.
I said that on the radio the other day. That's how much I know about sports.
Oh, and we have to start talking about the Sky instead of the Bears. Oh. So, yes.
You can do it. You have daughters. You can do it.
I sat down for the first game, and it was like I said before, watching a movie without seeing the trailer. And they came out,
and you wanted your money back?
No, the first quarter they looked great. I was like, well, maybe. They talk about false hope. And then from that point on, it was just the same old, same old.
Yeah.
But for that first quarter, they just came out on fire.
Okay.
Well, what happened? Where'd it go? John Fox, new coach, turned things around.
For a quarter.
They keep ranting and raving about how he's taken two teams to the Super Bowl. Two teams that went to the Super Bowl and lost.
I see.
Yay.
So close.
When the Detroit Lions, it was 5 or 6 years ago, lost 16 games in a season. They lost every game, and they're the only team that's ever done it, to lose every game in a season. Now, maybe if you go back to the early days, there was when there were only like 9-game seasons.
Right.
But in today's standard 16-game season, no one has ever lost 16 games.
Okay.
So they did it. Who did we go out the next year and get for our defensive coordinator? That coach.
I see.
Who made that decision? I think he's learned from his mistakes. Rod Marinelli, I believe his name was.
I see.
And he became our defensive coordinator the next year, and we were just okay. Well, what could you expect? They lost 16 games.
Right.
Let's go get him. At least he was cheap. Right. He worked for next to nothing. So where were we going with this Michigan thing? Oh, because I was done with my rum, and I'm now going to open the Griffin Claw Brewing Company Screaming Pumpkin Ale.
Okay, they get extra points for being the Griffin Claw.
Yes,
That's
they do.
just cool.
It is cool. And it is in Birmingham, Michigan. Because in Birmingham, they love the governor.
Yeah. And they love their pumpkins, too.
So,
What you may not be able to tell, folks, is that...
give that a whiff there.
That the can that he just opened is 48 ounces.
Yes.
So,
kind of smells like the back end of a pumpkin.
it smells like... Better than the back end of a Blumpkin. That would be a problem.
The back end, I mean, the front end of a Blumpkin is bad enough. The back end of a Blumpkin. Oh, that ain't funny. Oh, now I got to have that thought as I try and sip this beer.
There you go.
Back end of a Blumpkin. So I am looking at it. It kind of looks like my urine after 6 cups of coffee with cream.
What's this called again? Screamin' Pumpkin Ale.
Screamin' Pumpkin Ale.
All right. Does it scream? Is it pumpkin? We'll start with pumpkin.
It's actually really freaking good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Is it that super...
It's salty.
Okay.
It's kind of it's like you don't add salt to this beer, but it's not real pumpkin-y. It's got a hint.
Okay.
It's just like spice. It's like pumpkin spice.
Right.
That's good. All right. Well, that'll be my drink for the rest of the show, then.
What was that sour mash stuff you were drinking before? This
the
isn't
sour
like
mash.
that.
That's the bottle still up there.
Okay.
Casablanca, blah, 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 blah. That came from the Jolly Pumpkin Brewery.
Okay.
So I think they actually have a pumpkin beer that they make seasonal.
Okay.
But it's not... I think you can buy this year-round.
I see.
The Screamin' Pumpkin Ale. You can buy up there. But, yeah, that one, they make it seasonal. But the Jolly Pumpkin Brewery makes sour mash beer.
Okay.
And I think they have 2 ales and maybe one other lighter beer, but they specialize in the sour mash.
That didn't do anything for me.
I'm a sour mash fan.
Yep.
And in studio, Alex knows what he's talking about, too.
We'll have
when
to
it comes to beer.
Agree to disagree on that.
So I have 3 more of these, so if Alex ever makes it back in the studio, I'm going to save one for him. Because he's one of the people that gets on the bandwagon of pumpkin everything is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And to an extent, I kind of go with that.
Right.
I like a pumpkin spice coffee once in a while.
See,
when it comes around, I'll eat one pumpkin donut, but then I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah.
Don't keep pushing it. And now it's creeping back into August.
Yeah.
Until the end of October.
I'm not a huge fan. So.
And really, if you just take a big chunk of pumpkin and eat it, it tastes nothing like pumpkin-flavored stuff.
Right.
Because a big chunk of pumpkin by itself is terrible. It's a horrible
squash.
taste.
Yeah.
And then there's this lovely pumpkin flavor that comes out. So this doesn't taste like pumpkin. And I've eaten raw pumpkin. Don't ask me why.
I wasn't going to. I figured you'd bring it up in another episode.
I ate a raw pumpkin after the back end of a Blumpkin to get the taste out of my mouth.
I was wondering if that was going to come back around.
That's what she said when she was doing the pumpkin. Oh. So.
All right.
The Bears made me angry. Something else made me...
Now that I've got you all riled up.
Something else made me angry this week, too.
Was it that Robbie Gould got knocked out?
No, he had to go.
Really?
All these people crying and whining, blah, 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 Robbie Gould. He missed a couple of key kicks. He's getting old. He's starting to pull his hip. And just... That's not why the Bears were losing. The field goal... Because, first of all, you have to get in field goal range.
Position, sure.
In order to blame him. They couldn't get there. So, don't let me hear that. A kicker is a kicker. Oh, my Lord. Until, the new guy they got, totally shanked one and missed a 30-yarder. And, of course, that didn't go well for him on Facebook. But
right.
I'm old. I say Facebook.
Oh, what are
the younger generation? You got your Snapchats, your Instagrams, your Twitters,
Twitter.
I want a Twitter. Want my Twitter thicker. So everybody got so mad about that, and I'm like, oh, you're just losing focus. I wouldn't believe if they dumped him just to make that a distraction away from the team
from
being so
else.
bad. They let Robbie go.
Maybe he let himself go. Maybe
he did.
Maybe if you don't want to be the kicker for the team anymore, you just,
kick a few bad ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Put up a couple ducks and then
finish out your contract, get your severance, which is basically the signing bonus. Oh, that's so great in football. There was a football player, and I can't remember his name. I'm not going to look it up because I wouldn't know how to find it anyways. But I read an article, and he played, I believe, for the Patriots.
Okay.
Never saw the field in the 2 years he was on the team.
Okay. Injured?
In a real game. No, he was just like third string.
Okay.
Like a third string linebacker.
I see what you're saying.
Never saw the field in 2 years. Only in practice squad, and he was suited up. Mm-hmm. And there may have been a couple of games in those 2 years where he didn't make the roster that week or something like that.
Right.
But he never played in a real game. After 2 years, he retired from football. You know how much money he made in 2 years?
I don't know.
$8 million.
Well played.
After he quit football and walked away with his $8 million, he said, the only reason I played football was to make $8 million. I never liked the game. I knew I was athletic. So I went into college, got a full ride, got drafted, made $8 million. I'm 24 years old, and I have $8 million.
And you don't.
And did not care that he never played football.
Right.
Completely used the system. Just athletic enough that he could, if he wanted to go out and show that he could tackle somebody, he could do it.
Right.
And he got drafted. Blindsided the team. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm healthy. And thanks. Okay. Done. Good plan. Good plan. Free college education, $8 million. Courtesy of the NFL and their contract system. And I think, like, his signing bonus was just under $1 million. So even if he'd never played a game, he'd have got $900,000.
I see.
For his going to college and playing football. So I think that's fantastic because the NFL it's ridiculous how much money these people make. And it's gotten to the point where they can't love the game anymore because of all these holdouts.
Sure.
I'm not going to practice. I'm not going to training camp. And you'll pay me what I want you to pay. It just, then obviously you're not playing for the game. So I think they should go back to the old, for the first 3 years you make $100,000. And after that, then you can sign a contract. So all your first 3 years, $100,000 or whatever, some ridiculously low amount. And that's all you get. And no endorsements. Nothing. That's never going to happen, though.
Right.
Never going to happen. Well, I'm ranting, so I might as well go on what I ranted about earlier this week.
Sure.
I threw it out
I hope
there.
it's politics.
It's no, don't want to go there. Don't want to go there. And when it comes to politics, I build a wall.
Well, that's good. Actually, just as a total side note, and this doesn't involve anything directly, but I was at lunch with coworkers who decided to talk politics, which is really weird for me because this is a new job, and at my previous job, that was completely taboo.
Right.
And so I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, wow, you people are like actually openly giving your political opinions, and you're not just throwing up on Facebook, or whatever.
Right.
It was just kind of a weird sort of surreal moment, where I'm like, and I'm sure I looked either dissident or I wasn't saying a whole lot because I was just fascinated.
Was anybody actually like saying who are you voting for or like putting you on the spot?
No, not me. But it was pretty. I mean, they were making no bones about where they stood on certain things. And again, I used to work in local government, and you didn't talk about it because you didn't know. 2 years later, anything you're talking about could be the complete opposite of what you're working on.
Right.
But anyway, it was just kind of interesting. That's all I wanted to say about politics. Go ahead and rant on what you wanted to
And
rant about.
we don't do that here. There's no point. There's no point. Because I'll only say this about politics. This guy feels this way. This guy feels this way. You're not going to change each other's opinion.
Right.
When you have a Republican convention, you're talking to Republicans. When you have a Democratic convention, you're talking to Democrats. You're not going to convince anybody to change sides.
Sure.
So it's a never-ending argument.
Although I did read a thing on Facebook once that completely changed my mind on everything.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Nobody has ever read anything on Facebook that changed their mind.
No, ever. Made me think.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Give me a 4-hour boner. 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 But one thing I did rant about this week on the Facebooks. Every time I go on to Facebook now, and as pointed out by out-of-studio Manny. Or was it Manny? No, it was out-of-studio Ricky.
Okay. I can see how you get those two guys confused because
Pointed
they
it out.
look exactly the same.
They do. they really
one's
do.
black, one Hispanic, but yeah, I can see how you'd get them
thing.
confused.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
And okay,
you white people think that everybody looks alike.
okay, so so you got Manny and Ricky. Who's black? Huh?
I'm not
Don't
telling.
be stereotypical.
I'm not telling.
Okay, so Ricky's the black guy, and Ricky actually said in response to my rant, "You signed up for Facebook voluntarily."
That's right. I did see
So
that.
I told him to stop making so much sense and ruining my mojo. But when I go on and I start scrolling down, and I see 17 in the first 16 posts. I see 17 posts of GoFundMe for different situations. It's getting to the point that I feel I'm walking down a street in Chicago, and there's 17 bums, and they're all asking for money. And if I don't give to them, am I a jerk?
Yes.
So I have to give to all 17.
Yes.
So every time I see a GoFundMe page, I have to donate to it.
Yes, on Facebook.
I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So I did.
Mm-hmm.
I gave them all 50 cents. And one of them was... It was like... I don't even know where the person got it from. A friend of a friend, then put it on this friend's page. It's someone I'd never heard of, didn't know, from another state, somewhere else. And it was a guy that went rock climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Plummeted 2,000 feet to his death because he didn't set up his whatever clips and carabiners or whatever correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mistake he made.
Okay.
And this was on there with his family. They didn't have life insurance. Help us out. It's a tragedy. I'm only going to put this out there. It's not a tragedy if you decide to rock climb 2,000-foot cliffs with a little piece of metal and a rope.
Yeah,
And if you're going to do that, you might want to take out a life insurance policy. A lot of carelessness there. And now I'm supposed to feel bad and pay for this. Rub me the wrong way. Along with the other 17 that I had to choose from.
Right.
What gets me even more upset is when you hit a certain amount of money in your goal to help somebody, GoFundMe gets more of a percentage. They can get up to 20% if you reach a high enough goal. So they are loving tragedy. They love when people get hurt or when people die because they're making money.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing just kills me. I understand there are some situations in which GoFundMe can be beneficial when there is a true tragedy. But I already donate to the St. Jude's Cancer Fund.
Right.
I was given them several donations. So I have chosen a charity and donate to it.
It was nice of you to shave your head for that.
Yes. Well, I've been doing that for years. That's exactly why I do it. So I'm not going to tell people to quit posting them, but I just want to say my frustration.
I see.
That if I gave all of them money, then I would have to start a GoFundMe page to pay my bills and my mortgage. And I don't think I'm going to get any sympathy for that because I'd be out of money. Oh. Okay, I'm done.
I think...
Who are you voting for?
I think you need to start a GoFundMe so that my wife can get miniature donkeys.
I saw that.
Yeah.
A miniature donkey. Two things I want before I die. There's two things. A boat. I've always wanted a boat.
Okay.
Like a nice pontoon boat. Don't have to get into that. And a goat. I've always wanted a pet goat. I think they're cool. They're awesome. If you can actually train them to come to you when you call them, it makes it even cooler. But when I saw the miniature donkey, that list just went to 3. Because this donkey is like 1.5 feet tall. And about a foot and a half long. And fuzzy. Yes.
I can't believe that a 4-hour boner has now worked its way down to 4th on your list of things that you want in life.
Well, no. Things that I want in life that I've never had.
Oh, I see.
We're just coming up on an hour now. I got 3 hours to go with this one. This boner. Oh. So, yes, the miniature donkey. I saw that post.
Yes. Did you read the article?
I believe your wife said she wanted more than one.
Yeah, she said they're pack animals, so we should pack in about 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think she just wants a train of miniature donkeys walking behind her is what she really wants.
I want to ride one.
But well,
saddle them up.
If there's 4, you can
Come
probably
on!
The article said that they were they ended up at an Arizona donkey rescue from a Texas quote breeding incident unquote that got busted. So I don't know the details on that, and they were intentionally vague, but I thought it was pretty funny that There was a breeding incident, and now we have 20 miniature donkeys that need to find homes.
I'll take your miniature donkey. Bring him over here. Come here, little donkey. Let me pet that soft fur.
That's wrong on so many levels.
It is.
Only in Texas would you have a miniature donkey breeding incident. Glad we don't have stuff like that around here.
In Genoa, we do.
No, you don't. Genoa doesn't even have crime. And you know it.
Oh. Miniature donkeys. Yes, that's definitely 3 on my list now. So, if I can get a boat and a goat and a donkey, and I would take the donkey and the goat and put them on my boat.
I'm sure you would.
And I would cruise around the lake. And, I mean, they always say that the women come running to puppies. If I got a miniature donkey and a goat,
yeah, I think
they
you're
will
right.
come in groves.
On your boat. Groves on your boat.
Then again, if I am standing there waving to the shore with a 4-hour boner, it could be good, it could be bad. But what you attract with that might be the same people that work at Griffin Claw making screaming pumpkin ale. Oh. Well, I want to do one more thing.
Okay.
Before we go.
All right.
And it's actually a new segment I thought up all by myself.
Amazing.
We're going to call this segment, and it's got to be reoccurring.
Okay.
Especially because it's later in the evening.
This is a surprise to me. I don't know what's going on.
It's called Carrie Oakley.
Carrie Oakley.
So, a little play on word.
Yeah, okay.
It's karaoke, but it's me clicking onto the internet now and picking a song that Lee has to do on the spot.
All right.
So let's see what we got here. I'm going to go to the YouTubes.
All right. I've heard of that.
Actually, I already know what you're going to sing.
Okay. I'm not looking.
Da, 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 da.
You're going to have to show me the words, just like real karaoke.
Oh, yeah, you'll get the words.
Okay.
Let's see. We'll type in here.
Is this going to wake up the JDawg family?
Absolutely not. They're not in bed yet.
Okay.
All right, well, let's see. Let me turn this towards you here.
All right.
Nope, that's not it. Let's go back one. I know there's a better version. How do you spell Kara Oakley?
Just like that. Karaoke.
There it is. All right, have at it.
This is really hard to look but not look.
Oh.
That's an ad.
Well, after this 6-second ad, I'll get right to it. This is a great segment so far. Oh, but first we have to stop. Oh, so unprepared. I can't wait till we do a live show. Here you go. Kara Oakley, everybody.
Boy. This is like way out of my range. Maybe I'll have to do it really low.
You do it however you got to do it. It's all on you.
2, 1.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Full commitment is what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling.
Now he's
This
found
is
his
terrible.
range.
You gotta make you understand.
There it is.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna give you a 4-hour boner. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
See, all you had to do was get to the chorus.
Oh, gosh.
There you go.
You could have at least buttered me up with some whiskey before that.
Kara Oakley.
That was
A great new segment on the show.
disaster.
I'll have it more prepared next time. What was with the Kermit voice in the beginning? What happened?
He does kind of have a throaty, weird
He does.
thing, but I don't. I just have a throaty, normal thing.
I'll give you that. He does.
So,
All right, now we can end the show.
Oh.
If you want to grab the guitar over
thank
there.
goodness. I mean, oh, okay. It's that time, huh?
Oh, spider.
Did you really kill it?
I still got 3 hours to go.
The spider's got 7.
I'm not just kind of liking this beer. I'm really liking this beer. I have 3 more. They might not make it to in studio, Alex.
Alex is going to miss out.
All right, he's got the 16-string gilly with his 14 fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into podcast number 26 of the JDawg and Leevis show. A little rusty, I think. It was a little rusty tonight. Leevis is very tired.
And sober.
And neither one of us are very drunk.
It's true.
Sober shows just aren't as fun.
No, that's not always true.
But this boner is fantastic. As a matter of fact, when you play that music, it kind of gives me a boner.
Really?
Oh, wait, I already have a boner.
Yeah.
Because of the boner spider.
Uh-huh.
I think we're up to like 95 now.
I see.
So, if you want to email us, I am going to do it. I'm going to throw it out there. How many boners? How many times have we said the word boner in this show? Add them up.
Including that one?
It's in the show, isn't it?
Yes.
Boner, boner, boner. That's 3 more. How many times have we said it? Email us at JDawgandLeevis@gmail.com. JDawgandLeevis@gmail.com. Tell us the number, and if you're correct, you get a t-shirt.
Ooh.
Of course, we'll figure out through email how you're going to get that t-shirt.
Right.
But you'll get it. How many times did we say
that word?
Boner. So podcast number 26, there's your challenge for the evening. And we'll be awaiting all your emails. Heck, you know what? I don't even care. Maybe just the first person that emails any number will get the t-shirt. He said it 3 times. Sold! Winner.
You're close enough. We'll round up.
We'll call this the boner challenge, doesn't it? That's...
Yeah, I think that's...
The boner challenge.
Or the, yeah. Something about, the hard challenge.
The Die Hard.
The Die Hard challenge.
So send that in. Get us a number. I'm going to have to go back and count all of these now. Well, that's going to stink. That means I have to listen to the show. Oh, I'm not a fan of the show at all.
Better you than me.
So I got to listen to it. I'm not even a fan. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. You can always reach us here on the Spreaker website. You can also reach us on iTunes, YouTube, Blueberry, podcast.com, podnet.com, and we're still not on iHeartRadio. But iTunes, YouTube, and Spreaker, those are the ones getting the hits.
Nice.
That's where you want to go. So feel free to email us with any other details, too. Anything you want us to do, anything you want us to say, anything you want us to play, we'll do that, too. We're going to go ahead and back out of this show. Don't know when podcast 27 will be. I think we got to set up a guest, though.
Yes.
We'll get somebody in here. Haven't had a guest in a while. Dying to get Michael Gould in studio.
Ah, Michael Allen Gould. Of Urban Dictionary fame.
Urban Dictionary fame. I think it wouldn't be too bad getting Chris Wicks in here.
Ah.
I think he's close enough that he would scoot on over for the Short Fuse live in the studio. Some other tidbit of information. The Black Dog radio show with Rich Awe is moving to their new studios October 1st.
No kidding.
And we will be getting an invite to that show shortly after to perform live on a Friday night. JDawg and Leevis visiting the Black Dog radio show.
That's right. They do it live.
They do it live.
Oh,
and
boy.
all I hear from them is that they have plans for us.
Great.
So you better bring one of those spiders with you.
Probably.
And Die Hard. So that'll be interesting to be on that show. So don't have an exact date, but it'll be shortly after October 1st when they move into their new studios. And they have more room, and they have lots of plans and things to do. I'll be very excited to meet all of the characters there. So we'll let you know when that is, when that comes up. Also, we are trying to think about how we want to release our first live show, where you can actually call in, where you can actually chat with us while we're talking. We're thinking of some kind of extravaganza and have several guests and calls set up. Not necessarily on the table, but it's coming soon. We're trying to think about that for the first live show. It'll be totally different.
It would be.
Because we'll have people bugging us and heckling us the whole time, which could be fun. It
Instead
could be
of
miserable, too.
Just me.
So what we'll do is we'll just make it a 4-hour show. And as the boner's coming down, we close the show out. So thank you very much for tuning in here on Thursday, September 22nd, 2016, Podcast 26, JDawg and Leevis Show. We will talk to you soon. That's it. Finish my beer.
All right.
And
finish your beer.
Put my kids to bed.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yep. Putting the kids to bed. Punching the clown. Flogging the dolphin. Feeding the baby. Night, y'all.